We've had him out and about trying to enjoy the Alaska summer as much as possible. We got a new camper, and
he's got a cool backpack he gets to ride in when we're hiking. And
yeah, and we tried fishing, and he's just a pretty happy little baby.
He had some time off from work. I was cleared to travel with my pregnancy, and we decided to take a week to come home and visit family before the holidays. 2 days into our visit, I rolled over in bed and I started bleeding. I had a bleed, and we rushed to the hospital for the first time.
At that point, we were with her parents just outside of Baltimore, Glen Burnie, and then decided to head down to my parents down in King George.
We actually were in contact with my doctor back here in Alaska. And, she wanted me to go, was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks bleed-free before I attempted to get back on an airplane.
Lauren had what's known as a placenta accreta. What happens when you have a placenta accreta is that a portion of the placenta actually grows into the uterine muscle. So obviously the placenta then cannot detach easily, which then can lead to bleeding complications when the baby's born.
Knowing that she was going to be in town for another 2 weeks, just kind of hanging out with family and stuff, the decision was made, all right, well, I'll go back and go ahead and get back to work. Plus, we had a dog in the kennel who had overstayed his welcome. So I headed back to Alaska at that point.
Unfortunately, Lauren did have another pretty significant bleeding episode that brought her back into the hospital. And with the number of bleeding episodes that she had, we decided that she was going to have to stay in the hospital for the rest of the duration of her pregnancy.
Chris was in Hong Kong, so that was another shock. I was alone. It was early in the morning, and so I had to call the family and just let them know what was going on.
I was getting play-by-play on the phone from the family that was at the hospital. So my parents were there, her parents were there, her sister was there, my sisters were there.
I was able to give that report to the family, and coincidentally across the room, his sister was on the phone. No, it's not the same not having Dad be there, but to get the information the same time everybody else does was pretty incredible.
It was a pretty horrible feeling, but a great relief when it was all over and I finally got the phone call that everybody was good. The baby was here.
Sebastian was kind of a champ in the NICU. He didn't need any oxygen, and then about 2 weeks into his NICU stay, he became very sick. They needed to fly him out to Children's because he had an intestinal infection.
The complication is called necrotizing enterocolitis, and it's a special type of infection, a complication that we only see in premature babies. And when babies have that condition occur, they often need a higher level of care, and so that's something that our relationship with Children's National in DC helps to facilitate those transfers so that we can get them up to get the care that they need very quickly.
Children's credits the doctors and nurses there at Mary Washington for really saving his life, for as quickly as the decision that they made to get him to a higher level of care. They got it done, and he did really well, and he had a couple days of recovery left in the NICU, and then once he was feeling better and he was eating again and doing everything a baby should be doing, they said, okay, you can take him home again. We, at that point, hustled home. We had a window of opportunity to get on an airplane with him back to Alaska, and we went ahead and took that.
The baby home. Cute, Mom.
He's a tough little guy, I think, from it, and he's doing great now.
He's happy, he's healthy, and he keeps us on our toes. Everything that happened was a blessing in disguise. From me having my issues at home, that we were close to family, that we were close to good hospitals.
call it right place, right time, fate, call it fate, whatever. It all happened there for a reason.